getting ready to plant our red potatoes and our hay bales. Now, the only thing that I've done is I've added some extra blood meal across the top, and we are also going to plant carrots and onions and some green beans with this too, all in this little bitty space right here. Now, let's check out the rest of the garden, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to plant these. So over here, we've got our potted plants growing, and look, we've got green beans growing. These are all of our herbs right here. All of our flowers are running down the center, and we got green beans in these pots over here. Now, we've added some trellises right here for our little green peas, because I think they're going to run on trellises by this right here. See that little curlicue thing? These mean these are going to climb, so we're going to train them to climb up these. We're going to train them to climb up these trellises right here and back down, and then that's where our little green peas are going to grow. I'm not sure about the black-eyed peas, but I added this trellis before I planted them, so we'll see how those go. Over here we have our sweet potatoes planted in our bale, and we have our trellis so that we can run them up the trellis and over the back of the fence. Now, on the back side of my property is not another person's yard. And see, we've already got slits getting ready to start growing here. We don't have any on these right here yet, or this one. That one looks kind of dried up. And then over here, we've got some aloe plants here growing that somebody gave me. Here we've planted some comfrey. Now, we've cut the bottom of this bin out, and the reason why we did is because comfrey is a very, I think the word is invasive. It means it'll grow, it'll spread and grow and everything, so we're trying to contain it to this container, but the container bottom is cut out, but we've contained it so we can keep it in one spot. And right here we have russet potatoes growing in these two bins. Now, we've made drainage holes in these. We did not cut the bottoms out. We put them in the ground, and basically all we did is took our potatoes, stuck a hole, and I'll show you when we get to the other potatoes what that's going to look like, and then we covered them with some more dirt, and as they grow up taller and taller, we'll add more dirt to these bins. That's why these are so shallow looking right now. So we have the same thing going on over here, except for these are red potatoes. And so right here, we've cut holes in the bottom of this container. Now, we got this container at a garage sale. We drilled holes in the bottom of it. Our potatoes, we covered them with dirt this morning because they've already started growing up. We're going to wait for them to cover through this. And then this is another one of those aloe plants somebody gave me. Matter of fact, it was Beth's husband that gave it to me. It looked pretty rough down here at the bottom, so I trimmed up the leaves. Don't know if I was supposed to do that, but look at what's growing out of the top of it. I don't know what this is. This is the first time I've seen this. So if you know what that is, leave me a message down in the comment section below so that I know what it is and I can know what to do with it, because I don't even know what to do with that. And let's look at our garden. Oh my goodness, our container box hay bale garden is just growing. And looky here, I want to show y'all something. If y'all see these little bitty mushrooms coming up, don't mess with them, because that means that your garden is very fertile and you're doing a great job. Now, those are all over this garden bed all the way down, and you can't see them from here, but let's take a look at what's going on here in the garden. And I've got cucumbers right here, and they're going to grow up and over this trellis right here. And we're going to add another trellis over here on this side for the cantaloupe and the watermelon. Now, how am I going to grow cantaloupe and watermelon going over a trellis? Well, stay tuned and you'll see how I'm going to do it. It's called vertical gardening. Keeps it off of your ground. I've got to get back here and cut the grass today, or have my husband cut it. If you hear a noise in the background, that's because he's around there pressure washing. Here's some more of our cucumbers, and over here we have cantaloupe growing. I am so excited to see cantaloupe grow. And look at these. Our green beans are taking off over here. Our black-eyed peas are going crazy. And our peppers are finally starting to come up. And I evidently got a pea sign back here behind my, see my peas growing behind my sign. I usually stop my sign before my peas, but I guess I accidentally got one over there. So let's get back over here to where we're going to plant this. Now you can see that blood meal where I've added it. Now what I did with my little rake is I came in here and I did this to my soil and kind of got this going down into the soil before I start planting it. And I'm going to go all the way down the whole thing. Now over here is where we're going to plant our potatoes. Now I've got my potatoes ready. And I'm going to show you what they look like. Hang on just a second. So here's one of our potatoes. Now this had eyes growing off of it in a lot of different places. And you'll want to take those extra eyes off so that this plant right here grows really well. So what I did in my hay bale is I'm going to take and stick this down in here like this, and it should be really loose. And we're going to stick our potato all the way down in there as far as we can get it to go. And stuff it down in there. And then we're going to take and cover it with dirt. Oh, sorry about that, you guys, if I'm shaking the camera. I apologize. Alright, then we're going to take and cover it back up with the dirt. And we're just going to let that grow. Okay? Now we'll probably put another potato right here, because we're going to put another potato right here. And then we're going to, right here. So what I'm going to do in between these potato plants, because the potatoes, you got to give them plenty of room to grow. We're going to take, oh, y'all can't see me, sorry. We're going to take and dig down into this bale. Now you want to make sure it's loose, and the reason why you want to make sure it's loose is because you want your potatoes to be able to grow and spread out. You don't want to grow long potatoes like this. You want to grow potatoes down that are round and pretty like the ones you're planting. So we're going to take another one of these. We're going to stick it in the hole as far as we can get it down in there. And we're going to cover it up just like that. Now, so we've got a potato here and we've got a potato here. That's how far apart we're spacing those potatoes, okay? And we're gonna get about 3 to 4 potatoes per bale. And then I'll show you what we're doing next. So let me get the rest of these planted and we'll be right back. We're spacing on our second bale, and we got 4 potatoes in there. And this one, I probably could have moved over a little bit more, but I just wanted to show you how far apart they should look in your bale. Now, if your bale is a little bit longer, like the ones that came for my garden beds over here, those are bigger, so you could probably get 5 in those. So we're going to cover these up, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. All right, now we've got our potatoes planted along the back here. So what we're going to do across the front of this is we're going to take and plant some green beans, and these are the Blue Lake Bush green beans. We're going to plant them about 1/4 inch deep and about 6 inches apart. And oh, got 2 seeds there. Now I like to only put 1 seed at a time down, and those are kind of close. Let's move this guy over there, this one over here. Okay, that looks about the right spacing, and we'll stick this one right in here. So now all I'm going to do is come back and just pull my dirt over them barely, and we'll let them grow in here with our potatoes. And yeah, I've got a lot of green beans growing, and they're all planted at different times. Like if you notice, my beds over here are planted at the beginning of March. Then right here, these were planted about a week ago in these pots. And now it's another week has gone by, and I'm planting some here. Now the reason why is because when I plant them in different places like that, they're not all going to come in at the full maturity at the same time, which is good for me because then I don't have to hustle to get all these green beans put away at the same time. So that's what we're doing. Now, these 2 bales here are planted with the potatoes and the green beans. This bale right here we're fixing to plant with carrots and with onions, and because they like to grow together. Now here's the carrots and the onions that we're going to plant here. Now I like to make me signs because whenever I plant, I want to make sure that I have the carrots and onions, because sometimes they can look like regular grass when they're first coming up, and some plants look like other plants when they first start coming up until they get their true leaves on them. So we want to make sure that we label them so we know what we're growing. Just like right down here, we've labeled the green beans and red potatoes, because I have 2 different types of potatoes growing. I have russets and reds. So let's get this bed started. We're going to lay these to the side. And we're going to I've put blood meal down. Now my bales have been sitting here for about 2 weeks now, maybe a little bit longer. And I'm going to take and just do this with the rake and get this in here so that the blood meal has a chance to get in instead of blow away. Now it is an overcast day here in Florida. It was raining yesterday, so everything's good and wet. I have not watered yet this morning. I know this soil looks wet, but I have not watered anything. This is just because it's been raining for the past 2 days. We get that here in Florida. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of till up this ground and get it ready for it to accept our seeds. And if you get some of that hay bale coming up, that's probably a good sign, because that means that it's starting to deteriorate. And it's all right. It's going to help keep our stuff nice, and I'm going to make me a little row here and a little row here, and that way I can kind of tell where, when my seeds start coming up, what's growing where. So a little row here and a little row here, and it feels like it might be trying to sprinkle again, which is good, because when you're planting seeds, you want them to get watered. Okay, so let me get the seeds open and we'll be right back. All right, here's our seeds. Now our seeds here in Florida aren't supposed to be planted except for in September and February, but I'm going to plant them now because I'm going to try to grow some now because I need some. And if they don't grow, we'll plant them again at the right time of the year. I only got a few of them out of the packet. I got plenty more in the packet. So we're going to take these and put them in our row that says onions. Now these are only supposed to be planted a 1/4 inch deep. So I'm going to just start dropping them in my little space here and put them down in the ground. And you're supposed to space them out every I think the packet said, I forgot what the packet said. Hang on, I'll tell you. And then I'm going to just come back and cover everything up right here. Now, if they don't grow, I'm not going to be disappointed. But we're going to try to grow them now. And now we're going to grow. This one's carrots say September through February also. But I'm going to go ahead and try to grow them now. And we're supposed to space seeds 1 inch apart. See, it tells you on the back of your packet. Now let's look at the onions. Sorry. The onions, space the seeds 1 inch apart. Takes 60 to 110 days to harvest. And these take 70 days to harvest. So let's get some of these. Now these are teeny tiny seeds. I know this. And we're going to plant them in that back row and try to space them 1 inch apart. Now here's our little carrot seeds. There we go. Okay, and we're going to take and try to space these 1 inch apart. So let's see if we can do this. There's one that came out of my hand. If you don't space them 1 inch apart, what happens is they grow on top of each other. And when they start growing on top of each other, then I like to take and put one down and right between my fingers and then get it to drop. But if you don't space them out, then they grow together and they kind of get all tangled up together. All right. And then we're just going to cover those up and we'll be done. Here's one of our hanging plants we planted flowers in for our bees to come to our garden. And we've got another one down there and it's already got stuff coming up. Now we just planted these bales this weekend and we've got carrots and onions, and I know it's not the right time of the year, but I'm planting them anyway because I want to see what they do. And this is potatoes and more green beans. Yes, I like green beans. No, it's really my husband that likes them. All right, here's our hay bale garden, and it has been 3 days since I planted it. We have carrots and onions here. We have green beans and potatoes here. We don't see anything there yet. And green beans and potatoes in this last one. But look up here in this pot. We got some wildflowers growing there. And over here, we got some more wildflowers growing. Look at that. All right, you guys, we're out here at the garden and we're checking on our single hay bales. And somebody asked me the reason why that I planted these single hay bales down here that I'm fixing to show you, and I planted planters over here with boxes around them. And that's a good question. Let me tell you. Somebody asked me why I planted like this and these bales right here. And this is where we have red potatoes and green beans growing, and red potatoes and green beans growing in this one, and we have carrots and onions growing in this one. Now the reason why we planted all of these or like this is because, and not like that over there, is because these bales right here are going to grow our rooted vegetables. Rooted vegetables, by that I mean they grow in the ground. And so we're going to grow these in the ground, and or not grow, they grow down. They grow down. And then the green beans are going to grow up, and we'll have potato tops that'll come up, but the actual fruit or food itself grows down into these bales right here. So it provides a different type of nutrient, takes a different type of nutrient to grow this stuff. Now, the advantage of it is that when these are done, I can take and pop these strings on these bales, and then I could dig out the potatoes or carrots or whatever is growing in these. And then I can take that hay and put it over in these boxes to add more nutrients back to these boxes after this is done growing, because this is going to take something different out of the soil than those over there. Now, yeah, I do have some green beans growing right here, and you can see they're already started to come up. And I think if I uncover this right here, you can see my potatoes starting to come up. I added more hay on top because when you grow potatoes, you have to continually add stuff around them so that the potatoes will form. And I think this is another potato, or is that a green bean coming up? Looks like a green bean. And so we're doing good here. So we got the green beans and potatoes. And if you notice, I added the lattice or these little trellises from the Dollar Tree back here so that I could add the hay right here around my potatoes. Now my green beans are going to grow along the front here, all right here, and they're going to fall over. And then my carrots, we don't have anything going on right now, but that's okay. And I didn't water a whole lot today because the soil is still moist, and you can see that, and plus we're fixing to get some more rain. So that's the reason why I didn't do anything else on these. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope to see you real soon. Give us those 2 thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you real soon here at What the Tuckers.